Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mancave Live. I'm Rafael Aliyah.
And I'm John Jackson. Follow us at our Mancave Twitter. That is at Mancave NY Sports, capital NY, capital M. And follow us at our individual Twitters at John97Jackson, at Raf_Aliyah.
So we got a great show because baseball's underway. This is, I don't know about you, but this is one of my favorite times in sports because baseball's underway. NHL is ending, so we're going to get into the Stanley
NBA
Cup
is ending
playoffs.
as well.
NBA is getting...
The draft is coming up.
We have the draft coming up. We just ended March Madness. The only thing that could possibly make this time of year better is if NFL was starting, but you can't have everything all at once.
At least the draft, it gives us something to look forward to.
Something with football.
Yeah.
So we're going to get started in order of starts. So I want to start with baseball because John and I, we have a league. This is our third annual fantasy league. And we're in it with, as you know, our correspondent Ethan. If you watched the show before, you know
follow him on Twitter at Ethan_Illers.
If you've seen our show before, you know Dimitri Mikas.
Follow him on Twitter at Dim Mikas, something like that.
And then
don't follow him on Twitter.
And we have other guys. So this is our third straight year. Year number one was tied between Ethan and John.
Last day of the season, might I add.
Last year it was me. And so we have it coming into this year. So I want to get started in fantasy baseball. Just worrying about John and my team. We're going to just grade our teams.
Yeah.
And we're going to let you know who we drafted. Get started.
Okay.
I talk too much.
This might take about
10
seconds.
5
5 seconds.
I
don't know. We'll see.
I can get mine up.
Yeah, get yours
fairly quick. So,
we're gonna grade each other's teams. We're gonna bash each other.
I think we should grade it like this, okay?
Yeah.
Hitters first, then pitchers, then overall, just in general. That way.
I got mine up right now.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's go. If I tell him to defend it, I'm just gonna have him defend it because
catcher Buster Posey.
Yeah, you don't need to defend that.
First baseman Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, you don't need to defend that.
Second baseman Brian Dozier.
Yeah, you don't need to defend that.
Third baseman, second overall picked in the first round, Josh Donaldson.
Defend that because just for our viewers because so I had the first overall pick.
Mike Trout.
John had the second overall pick.
Donaldson.
And he decided to go with Josh Donaldson.
Yeah.
Not saying that I don't like Josh Donaldson. I needed it defended, so I feel like he should have to speak for himself.
Josh Donaldson is the reigning AL MVP. Now, I don't do it just mainly because he's the reigning AL MVP. He's a third baseman. So he puts up 30-plus home runs, 100-plus RBIs. That's more glaring of an issue to me than, say, an outfielder. And to be honest, I know somebody would probably pick Bryce Harper over Donaldson, and I agree based on last year. But we've seen Bryce Harper in the league since, 2012? He's had one good season last year. Yeah. I trust Donaldson over Bryce Harper. Donaldson now 2 years in a row, he's been great. 1 year he's been great. This last year, absolutely amazing.
I'm a fan of Josh Donaldson. I think he got him too early, but if he's confident on it, I think that's the best way to go. Go ahead.
Addison Russell at short/second base. Jason Kipnis. Chris Bryant, Billy Hamilton. Now, my outfield, I didn't
well, let me first grade your...
Yeah, okay. My outfield.
Let me grade your head.
I got my outfield, Billy Hamilton, Corey Dickerson, Shin-Shu Chu, Alex Gordon, Brian Buxton, and just to finish off my team before you critique, Prince Fielder at DH, Trevor Story. This is an up-and-coming shortstop on the Rockies. I just picked him up recently. And Michael Conforto, he was my last pick.
John is about as high on Trevor Story as a 7-story building, okay? Excuse my pun, but that's how high he is on him. So if I'm gonna grade your hitters, obviously your infield is great. I like your infield a lot.
Outfield, I understand. I addressed that last.
Outfield, I have some problems with, and I have a little problem with your depth just because, they're unproven. But I'm gonna give you.
Who's unproven out of this group?
Trevor Story.
That's unproven, but I always go for one or two.
We only have 3 bench spots, so when I'm talking depth, you have 1/3 guy unproven. So
he already has 3 home runs in 2 games, but I don't do it based on that. He's a high prospect coming into the Colorado organization. They rank him pretty much as high as any shortstop coming up in that organization, aside from Troy Tulowitzki.
We got some news.
Josh Donaldson. Better be good news.
Josh Donaldson left Wednesday's game with unknown injury.
Right, wonderful. Terrific news. My first overall pick.
Second overall pick in the draft.
So
I hope everything's okay with that because I hate to win that way.
Yeah.
But I'm giving it a B plus because I think your outfield took a hit. I would give it like a B plus A minus. It could go either way.
Okay.
I'm a generous grader. I'd probably boost it to the A minus, based on SAT scores and whatnot. But
so just for the audience to know, I usually go for the one or two unproven picks, prospects, and it usually pans out. Last year, some people had doubts about Chris Bryant. I didn't. I picked him, kept him on my team for a month.
doubts about Chris Bryant.
No, some
beat
have.
us to the. You just beat me to the punch.
No, he was on the waiver list. Carlos Correa as well, and in the past, some others.
But yeah, also John's also much better in the free agency.
Yeah,
than
the
a lot
waiver
of people,
pickups.
So he's scarier than he looks.
But just quickly, since we've already hit 6 minutes,
go ahead.
My pitchers: Corey Kluber, Chris. Jose Fernandez, Sonny Gray, Mark Melanson, Adam Wainwright, Zach Britton, Brad Ziegler, Sean Tolleson, Jordan Zimmerman, Michael Wacha.
So I already told you my problems with it and my compliments of it. I'm gonna give it an A minus because
fair enough.
It's good if they all perform like they could.
Oh, they even as recent as last year for most of these pitchers.
I would go as far as to say that they're gonna be a solid.
So
I think they'll be solid.
Let's go on yours now as
Okay.
we approach the 7-minute mark.
Just stop me if you have any questions.
Okay.
Travis Darnell catching. My starting first baseman. Excuse me. Starting first baseman is Rizzo. I got second baseman Cano. Third baseman, I waited a long time for my third baseman, so I got Evan Longoria. Not terrible.
Good.
Carlos Correa.
Excellent.
Ian Kinsler.
Good.
My corner infielder is Mikhail Franco. I think.
Decent,
I'm sorry. That's my bench guy. My corner infielder is Young Ho Park for the Minnesota
From
Twins. From Korea, yeah.
Second player. Last year we saw Gong from the Pittsburgh Pirates. So I like that pickup. That's usually what I do. Continue on. Though.
I think that he'll be a decent.
Yeah, I think so too.
Moving on to my outfield, Nelson Cruz. Can't really complain. George Springer, Ryan
Good.
Braun,
Good.
Brett Gardner, Jock Peterson. I also have Mike Trout.
Obviously.
And Delino DeShields.
Yeah,
he was my last overall pick.
Yeah, that's
that was actually the last overall pick of the draft. And then my DH is Alex Rodriguez because I'm high on A-Rod.
Yeah.
Not that he took steroids or anything this year.
Not at all.
But I think he's going to have a great season. I think he hits 30 home runs.
Yeah. Continue on, though.
You want to grade my hitters?
Your hitters, I say that's a strength. I'm going to give you an A minus.
A minus.
A minus. There's always room for improvement when you have DeShields. But no, that's good. I'm actually very, very proud of your hitting.
Thank you.
Yes. Let's hear some pitchers.
Jake Arrieta, Carlos Carrasco, Wade Davis, Felix Hernandez, John Lester, Steven Matz.
Good.
Houston Street, Francisco. It's Houston.
Yeah,
I know. I said Hudson all last year, and you just kept correcting me. Houston Street, Francisco Liriano, and Masahiro Tanaka. Not just because I'm a Yankee fan, but because I waited very late for him.
Now I know Tanaka definitely has always question marks. Liriano, he's pretty good. There's one other in there. Which one did I like? Carrasco, I'm not a huge fan of, and Lester, I think it's definitely overrated. So I'm gonna give you.
I'm not overrating Lester at all.
Yeah.
I just think on a new team with this Cubs team, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I think he's gonna have a bounce back. I'm gonna give you a B plus for that.
Well, thank you. So averages basically, John has an A minus, and I guess I have an A minus as well. So we'll see how it goes. I don't think we should really care about standings until like May. I think that's when injuries start getting into play. So that's it. That's what we want. We want.
So if you want to have a fantasy baseball league, follow our model. We have had success in the past.
We have had success in the past.
Be smart and look for some prospects.
I've had success in the past. Don't even.
I have too.
Don't even look. Don't even. No, I'm just joking.
Tied for first, the last day of the season. Anyway, that's the first part of our show.
He wants to fight.
First part of the show. Tell them Twitter stuff.
I will definitely tell you guys some Twitter stuff because we have Twitter. I'm Raf_Elia, that's ELIA, and John is at John97 Jackson. We have Ethan _ Illers, that's ILLERS, as our correspondent from Mizzou. Follow us at the Mancave NY Sports. And also like us on, subscribe to us on YouTube at the Mancave,
Exclamation point.
Exclamation point. All right.
I know what I want to do now to reorganize this stuff.
I know what I want to do today.
You want to save NHL for the next part of the show?
I do.
Tune into that. Anyway, right now we're going to talk some basketball.
We're gonna
A lot
talk
of
some
basketball.
Dribble.
NBA, NCAA men's, NCAA women's.
Now we have 3 things to talk about, so let's go. Let's get right off the bat. Kurt Rambis seems like he's going to be the official head coach of the New York Knicks.
It's a possibility.
They've definitely made that known that they want him there. Interim head coach, as you know, Kurt Rambis. I think he's going to get it, honestly, because I think the Knicks are just that stupid.
I agree. I agree so much with that.
I'm a Knicks fan, so
As am
I
I.
have absolutely no problem just saying it the way. I mean, listen, they're not going to get better with Kurt Rambis, so I mean, go ahead, though.
Somebody came out recently, I got the ESPN alert a few hours ago, that what Phil Jackson is doing is stupid. People in New York want big names. I agree with that. Obviously, if the big name...
Big names.
Yeah, if the big name correlates to big talent as a coach...
Absolutely.
Usually it does, because coaching, you don't get worse as a coach usually.
Well, listen, the NBA
as a player,
the NBA is a players' league anyway. Like, coaches really don't matter as much. Like, in the NFL, coaches... like
Last-second decisions, though. We've seen Mike Woodson and... Derek Fisher makes
in terms of time management and things like that, yeah, of course. In terms of the triangle offense as well, but
that's not going to change anytime soon.
But I definitely agree that Kurt Rambis should not be the head coach.
Our correspondent Ethan has agreed with us.
I'm still high on Tom Thibodeau. I think he should be the head coach.
Okay.
That's my top pick for the head coach. But you know what? Whatever. Rambis ruins every franchise he's been with into the ground. Oh, I'm sorry. He runs every franchise he's been.
I was going to say ruins.
Into the ground.
Harsh words.
But I agree with you, Ethan. That was courtesy of our correspondent, Ethan, and I agree with him 100%. Not that I hate Kurt Rambis. I just hate Kurt Rambis.
Anybody but Rambis, to be honest. Anybody but Rambis. Because we've seen... Okay, aside from Derek Fisher. We don't want him back. Anybody but Fisher and Rambis.
Anyone
look,
that
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Should just go opposite of what their initial feeling.
Exactly.
Because it's
that'll work. But I'm not, I don't care if it's big names, small names. I just want some talent out there. They debuted
do you think
Rambis and he failed.
Do you honestly think LeBron's coming to New York?
No.
Okay,
so let's move on now. That was the worst question I've heard all day.
He said he wants to play with Carmelo and he hates Cleveland right now. So a lot of talks being, will him, D. Wade, and Carmelo Anthony just try to create that dream team by coming to New York? And I just don't understand.
I feel like they would have to go on a different team with a lot of money.
Yeah, definitely.
Not
I thought that was one of the stupidest things I've heard as well.
Let's move on.
Go ahead.
We have a big record at stake.
Oh yeah,
Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors.
100%. Golden State loses to the Timberwolves after losing to the Celtics. Now this is both back-to-back home games, and they lost back-to-back home games, and it was 17 points was their lead. 17
that
points.
Never happens. They never lose.
They never lose. They never lose at home.
They
never lose a lead. So they lost a lead at home and lost. And now they have to face the Grizzlies twice and the Spurs twice, not in that order.
Spurs are undefeated at home.
And they have to play them at home. So for them, they have to win out 4 straight games.
I think they could tie it. I think they could tie the record. I don't know if they beat the Spurs
I think
at home.
at most they win 3 or 4 of these games.
Yeah, which would tie the record.
Obviously. I think that's a decent assumption. But then again, if they weren't going in facing this win-out scenario, I would say maybe they win 1 against the Grizzlies, maybe they win 1 against the Spurs.
Yeah,
safe.
Most
but
likely.
Being that they're under this much pressure to do it, I think it's either going to translate to them losing, because, so far the pressure has translated to them losing 2 straight, but I definitely think that it's going to translate to them playing a little better, playing a little harder, realizing that they are beatable, that they are humans, and I think they...
Surprisingly.
I don't think they beat the record, though.
Okay, like we said...
Do you think they beat the record?
I think they tie it best. If they beat the record, I'd be very... Imagine they beat the record and lose the NBA championship.
First of all, I have more faith that they'll break the record. I have less faith that they'll... No, I think they'll break the record, more than I think they'll lose the championship. And I don't think they're breaking the record, so
Okay.
I don't see them losing in the
You
championship.
confused me there.
That was so confusing.
Yes, he's
So-
like a double.
They win.
tractions.
They win the championship. No doubt in my
Yeah.
mind. They don't break the record. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. NCAA tournament, men and women.
Well, let's talk about the women.
Let's
first.
talk about the women. Who won, Raphael? Who won?
I think it was UConn, but
Wait,
you
wait,
know
wait.
what?
Didn't they win the year before?
No,
And the year before that? And the year before that?
and the games before that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable because UConn's women's team just all they do is win.
That's all they do. That's all they do. I mean, it's amazing. Amazing.
They are
Amazing.
one of the most talented teams in terms of any sport anywhere. Like when you look at any sport.
Easily. Compared to their
just-
competition.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, no, I mean I'm talking
Yeah.
about like just leagues and their
Oh,
sport
yeah.
and their respective best teams. They're competing with Golden State, who is the best team in the NBA. I venture to say that the UConn women are better than the Golden State men's in terms of NBA versus NCAA women.
Oh, you mean compared to their competition?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
yeah.
I don't think that the Golden State Warriors are as much as a force in the NBA as the NCAA women's UConn team is in their division.
I got a proposition for you. 7-game series, Philadelphia 76ers versus UConn women. Who wins?
76ers.
You really?
Absolutely.
Really? You think the 76ers?
Absolutely.
I know it's a talent drop, and they're better than the competition, but
I'm
still.
not even gonna go that far. I'm just going as far as physique is concerned. I'm talking about an NBA guy is just taller, faster,
Okay, yeah.
better skilled in general. Forget about the fact that the 76ers are terrible. It's just in terms of, it's not fair because if they
I
were the same
understand.
size,
I'm gonna say height definitely plays a factor because you and
Height
me,
definitely plays a
you and me
factor.
have played basketball. I can't play for my life, but 1-on-1 I beat him all the time just because I'm taller than
I'm
him.
better than John, I'd say, dribbling and shooting, but
Absolutely, yeah.
he beats me because he's just so much taller than me. And not just tall, I mean, they're got to be a little more skilled as well, not saying.
I'm gonna say UConn women though. I'm gonna say they sweep the 76ers. That's how much.
No,
that's how good they are. But I guess we should have a separate debate on this later. Right now, let's talk about March Madness championship men.
Ethan, I know you're listening. What do you think?
Yeah, please tell us, Ethan.
76ers.
Break this tie right
7-game
here.
series versus UConn women.
How many games do they win it in? The winner, whoever wins.
Yeah. But while we're looking for that answer, we're
Yeah.
gonna move on to the NCAA men's because we
What?
had Villanova.
What a game!
At
What a
the
game!
buzzer, man.
Explain
Unbelievable.
a little bit. Explain what happened.
What happened? Like what went wrong? for
No,
the
I'm saying
UNC?
that. Just explain that last 4.7 seconds.
Okay, well,
It was tied by then.
it was
tied.
Okay, yeah, you had UNC just tying the game.
Amazing.
And everyone's like, okay, there's UNC. We're going into overtime. UNC's going to take it in overtime. They slacked off a little bit, and then all of a sudden, what was it? He's at the center of the court. He's at center court. He throws it to Jenkins, who's uncovered. That's like the best. He's the best. What do you call it? Three-point shooter on the team, and he's left completely open. Takes the shot, and there's the championship. It's unbelievable.
One of the best finishes.
At the
Some
buzzer.
people have said.
Oh, I think it's gonna go down as one of the best finishes.
Definitely.
Especially because
Oh, it was
Villanova's
amazing.
been known as a choking team.
Yeah. No, they brought a championship to Philadelphia, something that the Phillies haven't done in a while, something that the Eagles have never done. I mean,
76ers
at least
will never
they
do.
brought some. Yeah, they brought some pride to Philadelphia. Although they're a college team, they brought some pride.
And that's great. It's good for them. They played fantastic against North Carolina, who we both thought were going to pull it
Yeah.
off.
On our last show, that's what we were saying. If we had a retry at the bracket, we said we got the first two right. That UNC would beat Syracuse, and that Villanova will beat.
Yeah, we had the finals.
yeah,
It's just UNC beats
Oklahoma, yeah.
But definitely,
we-
I definitely thought that this was going to
yeah,
be.
many people did.
And it was UNC versus Syracuse and Nova versus
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Okay, and that's the end of the second part of our show.
Yep, I'm
Stay
going to say
tuned.
the Twitter again. Raf_Leah, John97 Jackson, Mancave NY Sports, and Ethan_Illers. Any questions? Okay, did you guys have any questions?
Follow us, don't follow us, but please do subscribe.
Yeah, shame that UNC's shot will always be remembered as being succeeded by Nova's shot. I agree with you, Ethan. That's definitely. We would have been, if UNC pulls it off, that's the shot we're talking about. But it's not. So we're going to move on. Ethan, you're going to love this one because we're going to have a whole 10 minutes of hockey.
Hockey.
I got my puck in the background, too.
Yeah.
So, if the season were to end right now, as you know, the Rangers clinched with the win against the Blue Jackets. Huge bounce-back win against the Lightning. Yeah, yesterday, down 2-0. Who would have thought? Lightning, one of the hottest teams, and now, wow.
Who did they lose against who they could have clinched if they won? Was it the Sabres or was it
It was the Sabres.
It was the Sabres. And at that point, our correspondent, Ethan, was saying they don't even deserve to be in the playoffs.
Ethan, what do you think now, huh?
They don't deserve to be in the playoffs because it was just such an atrocious loss.
Yeah, Ethan says 76ers in a sweep as well.
Okay, and that was from our last show. We said who would win 7-game series, UConn women or 76ers. I said UConn wins. He said 76ers wins. And so did Ethan.
You just got shot by Ethan. Okay, but anyway, hockey. So both the Islanders and the Rangers clinched because the Islanders had a bounce-back win against the Capitals last night, which was great for them, blah, blah, blah. I hate the Islanders, Rangers fan. But I'm not going to let that get in the way of what I'm going to say because if the season were to end right now, we'd have the Rangers as the 3 seed, Islanders as the wild card, even though they play each other tomorrow, which is going to be big for the switching of the seeds.
Oh, did you see Ethan's, he tweeted at us right now, there's a new alignment in the NHL. It's no longer first versus 8, 2 versus 7.
Ethan, I think it's stupid. I think it's the most stupid system in one of the more stupid systems in the playoffs because it's not right. Let's think about it from this way, right? From this perspective. Rangers win the number 3 seed, right?
Yeah.
They face the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they're one of the hottest teams. They beat the Penguins. They go on against the Washington Capitals, most likely, because I think Washington wins their first series.
Yeah.
Which is going to be incredible because Washington's having one of the best seasons. And that's their road to the conference finals. If they come in as a wild card, they have to face the Florida Panthers, who we both agree are on the downslope.
Oh, definitely.
So that's a definite maybe to win. And then they face either the winner of the Redskins.
The Redskins?
The Red
Wings.
The Red Wings
Detroit.
against the Lightning. And I think either of those are winnable teams.
Yeah.
I think the Red Wings are the most overrated team in the East, and that's their road to the finals.
Yeah.
And by the way, if that happens one way or another, there's a chance that we could have an Islanders-Rangers conference final.
Now, how amazing would that be? How crazy would this town, would New York City be? How that would be absolutely amazing.
It should absolutely be like the NBA's playoff. It's much easier to follow, much easier to understand. Agreed, Ethan. I mean, you don't have to convince me. I think the NHL, the new rules for the seeding is the most stupid thing in the world. I definitely think you should have an advantage if you win your division, but come on.
Can you explain those to our audience, the new NHL rules?
As opposed to going 1 seed versus 8 seed, they break it down by division. So, Washington right now is the number 1 seed in the Metropolitan Division. They're going to be facing the wild card team. I mean, they're going to be facing the 3 seed. The wild card seed in the other conference, the other division. So Metropolitan teams can't face each other in the first round. So an Islanders-Rangers first round would be impossible because it can't.
No, why did they do this? Like
why did they do this?
Whatsoever?
I don't know. It's the same reason why they wanted to trade John Scott after he got elected to, because the NHL league, as much as people want to bash the NFL's arbitration and their
all the mess that goes over there,
but like this, I think the NHL is terrible with that kind of rule changes. I think it's stupid. And Ethan says, this was my next question to you.
Okay.
Would rather play the Caps than the Islanders, blah, blah, blah. Rangers have trouble being. I agree with you. Listen, I think Rangers do not. I think when you start to pick your opponent, like they were saying, should the Rangers face? You can't do that because once you start to pick your opponent, you lose. And you know what? I have confidence that the Rangers beat Pittsburgh. And you know what? They fared well against Washington, even though this is a fairly different Washington team.
But you got to remember, too, in the playoffs, things change. Washington could be out first round. I very much doubt it, but, Washington right now, they're not going to play the same exact way when they get into the playoffs.
They make it past the first round.
Oh, no, I think so, too.
I think that if any team they should be afraid of, it's the Rangers, because you said it before the show started. They're underrated coming in because they have talent.
Yeah.
Like, let's look. You have Zuccarello, Brassard, you have Stepan, you got guys that can score. Even Rick Nash has shown talent.
Finally, right?
And, I mean, you have one of the better goaltenders to ever play.
No, Rick Nash, too, not last year, 2 years ago. Wasn't that the year he had such a great postseason?
It was last season. No, well,
last season was terrible.
No, last season was a terrible postseason, a good regular season. I don't know that he's ever had a good postseason.
I thought he had a good postseason 2 years ago.
I think he's one of the worst postseason players in the Rangers. Islanders or the Lightning? Who would I rather play? That's a no-brainer. I think the Lightning.
Think so?
I think the Lightning. I think going into the conference finals.
Well, the Rangers have struggled with the Islanders.
They have,
yeah.
And I think the pressure of it's going to be a lot. But I think the Rangers make it to the conference finals. That means they're much better than we're giving them credit for, and I think they win. They make it to the finals. Depends who they face because I think West Coast teams are just so much better than the Eastern teams.
Okay.
Even teams that aren't making the playoffs, I think, would have a chance to be in a 2 seed in the East. I just think it's an unfair competition. But hey, I'm a Rangers fan. I bleed blue. So we're hoping.
What are you more worried about? If the Rangers make the Stanley Cup their opponent, or just playing the Capitals in any round?
Much more worried about their first round. More than anything.
Just their first round?
They make it past the first round. I don't fear them beating Washington.
But I'm saying opponent-wise.
Opponent-wise?
Forget the round.
Whoever they play first round is going to be my scariest opponent. Yes, 100%. They play Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's hot.
Mm-hmm.
They play, who did I say? They play the Panthers. I mean, the Panthers, this is their first time being this close. This is their best team. I think that they have heart. So, it scares me. First round scares me. If the Rangers get by the first round, Capitals don't worry me. And if they're able to get past the... Well, listen...
On a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you of the Capitals?
7.
7. And... let's just say I said the same question to you last year going into the series with the Capitals. What would you say?
5 or 6.
Okay.
Because
so it's not that big of a difference, although they've much better this year?
Go with 5. Because I thought the Rangers were great last year, and the Washington Capitals didn't match up, but I just had a feeling that year that it was going to be tough to get in.
Mm-hmm.
But we beat the Capitals. But this year, it's a much better Capitals team.
Oh, much
worse Rangers team. I mean, not much worse Rangers team, underperforming Rangers team. And I
not a President's Cup Rangers team as last year. That's why they had so much hype going into the last year's playoff.
They have the talent for it. They're just underperforming. I think that scared me. If they get by the first round, everything else, not that the Washington Capitals wouldn't scare me. It's just I don't see them making it past the first round by the way they're playing. They're playing inconsistent hockey. Not great hockey. It's just if they are able to make it past the first round, then I give them more credit, and I'm still terrified of Washington. And if they make it past Washington, and let's say they get to go up against the Islanders in the conference final, I'll be terrified because they fared terribly against the Islanders, and this is an Islanders team that's fighting to make it to that finals. And then if they get to the finals, they have to face a West Coast team. So it only gets more challenging, but I think it starts at that first round.
So now, to pretty much finish our show, what are your Stanley Cup picks?
Okay,
obviously it's going to change by the time we get to the Stanley Cup. There are a lot of teams, but if you were to choose right now.
All right, well.
I'll give you time. We still have 55 seconds left. Not too much time.
Who are you giving me, the winner or the 2 winners?
The two participants in the Stanley Cup.
And if it ends right now, I say Islanders beat the Panthers to go up against the Lightning. Lightning beats the Islanders.
I'm just saying Stanley Cup. Who do you think is going to be in the Stanley Cup?
Well, I have to get to there because I don't want to put 2 guys that are unable to go up against each other. I think that, honestly, the Capitals go on to the Stanley Cup to face the...
That's fair. I would agree with the Capitals, unfortunately, for the Rangers.
To face the... I'm going to say the Dallas Stars have a great chance.
Okay.
I say... Now, and then I say the Capitals win their Stanley Cup because I like the Stars. Think they're a great team. Don't know if they'll fare well in the finals.
Okay, and that's it. Thanks for watching. This has been the Mancave Live.
Come on, John, you have to close this out this time. Let's go. Close it out.
I'm John Jackson.
Raphael Leah, you know that.
This has been the Man Cave Live. Thank you for
Mancave
tuning in.
Live. Okay. Why did I say okay? Why am I still talking? We're still live.